You might not believe it, but there's actually 9 fixtures playing in the scene. Let's break down what each one does. First, I want to show you the scene. We start off with the wide, we have an action, we cut in to the tight for some emotion, and we come right back to the wide. In the show, there's more to the sequence, but for now, we'll just focus on the wide and the tight. I'm gonna show you the most important part of this whole thing. It was the skylight. That's why I chose this room to shoot in, because it gave us really cool lighting opportunities. It gave us a place to ceiling mount 4 tungsten Fresnels. These are all on flicker boxes, and they're what are practically lighting the room. They're giving us some, spill, they're hitting the walls, they're hitting some of the items in the room, the set deck, and it gave us a clean way to run these with minimal stands in the room. The second thing that this did was it gave us a spot to put a 600X through the ceiling. So we had a 600X with an F10 Fresnel coming through the ceiling with a little bit of diffusion to give us a skylight or replicate moonlight. It was really important to have this skylight because this scene was actually day for night. As I said, we had 9 fixtures, 4 tungsten Fresnels, a 600X overhead, a 600D outside, a 1200D outside, a tungsten bulb and a China lantern, and 1 tube lighting a back wall. Let me show you what they did. 4 Fresnels lit the 4 walls. So we have a Fresnel here, a Fresnel hitting really strongly here, and the other 2 Fresnels hitting the other walls for when we flip the world for other shots. I'm gonna add the tube into this because the tube is sitting right here, lighting that wall up a little bit. These are our ambient lights. These are just giving us a little bit of play on the walls. They're also all flickering, which really sells the effect of the candles. Let's jump to our window lights. We had 2. We had a 1200D on the far side of the building, giving us the light coming through the cracks in these windows right here. And then we had a 600D on the close side of the building, shining through a door. And that is what's giving you this big spill and slash on the wall. That is giving you some of this right here. We didn't want the 600D on the close side to hit our actor. So as you can see here, probably should have feathered this out a little bit. That is our cut line to cut it off of our main actor because we had our 600D in the ceiling, which we'll get into now. Our 600D in the ceiling. This was from the window light, and we had some opal diffusion over top. This had an F10 Fresnel on it as well, just to give us a little bit of the hard texture of light. It didn't play quite as much in this particular take because we were having to control the haze in a very breezy room. These are first century buildings, but there are other takes where this really played. There was haze and the beam of light coming down through the ceiling to play moonlight. But what we can see is this really is our key. It's impacting here. You can actually see it cutting because of his head right here, right? That's blocking there. We have it right here. And a lot of it you can see is playing on these jars. This little slash right here in the middle is actually from our outside 600D, which was a great touch. I love that hit right there. I don't think that we really went for that, but it happened, and it's one of my favorite parts about the scene. Our 600D over top was really essential. I think it really sold the moonlight part of this whole scene, and honestly, some incredible lighting. As we jump into our tight, we'll see what that looked like. So as we now jump into our tight, we're gonna start to see what I think is a really beautiful quality of light hitting our main actor's face right here. This is all happening from the 600D. You can actually see a little bit of the window light right there. You can see that eye light is for sure being caused by a square hole in the ceiling. Maybe it could have been a little bit more round, but that plays. So it was really cool. I'm glad we shot in this room. It made it really convenient well, not actually convenient, but it made it really cool with the light from the ceiling. And the opal diffusion, we A-B'd it. It looked much better with a little bit of diffusion. It was a little bit too hard, although the streak coming down from it did look really cool. It was a little too hard on the face. Now, our mystery 9th fixture was a tungsten bulb, just regularly plugged in on a long extension cord, and a China lantern on 2 40-inch C-stand arms, held by my gaffer. I don't know how to tell you how it was playing, but it looked pretty good. It played somewhere. It's in here. Just trust me. This is one of my favorite scenes from the show, and I hope you gained some insight into how it's lit. I'd love your feedback. Let me know what you think.